Hi there, this is Pete Howard, Director of Concert Posters for Heritage Auctions. And this is one of my favorite concert posters in history, a magnificent beast of an early rock and roll concert poster, and it comes to you from the David Swartz Concert Poster Collection, which is so spectacular we always have it on a separate day with its own separate catalog. Just the legendary Biggest Show of Stars Fall 1957 boxing style window card that is just so loaded with talent. 9 members of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Oh my goodness. Future, of course, members of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. What talent. And this poster, as you can see, is just full of hit singles and pictures of the stars, has a dynamic layout, great colors with all those ovals and boxes and everything. It just has it all for a 50s rock and roll concert poster. And that includes, from the collector's standpoint, a rarity. Yes, such rare piece. Very little stuff was saved in the 1950s for some reason, perhaps because there just weren't collected things yet, but they were just all discarded after the shows. I mean, sometimes I like to say, well, things were saved by accident in the 50s and now are found by accident because they weren't deliberately saved as collector's items because there just wasn't that sort of universe yet, So, boy, invariably everyone was just torn down, and of course always by adults, thrown in the trash after the shows. And this was we really have trouble remembering this. In the 50s, this kind of music, teenage phenomenon all the way. This was a teenage world, teen music, and of course teens are not respected by adults, even those over 21. So it was just considered a trifling, and little did we know that we'd have a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame someday and all of these things around it. But that's what makes it so special, let's face it. So now this one has been, as you can see, graded and forever slabbed by CGC, and that's really a nice highlight. Just keep in mind that the number, the 7.0, is not the same grading scale as psychedelic concert posters where you tend to want a 9.0 or better or whatever. In fact, been a serious poster collector for 3 or 4 decades. There are no 9-point anythings that exist of this poster. First of all, there's very few of the posters anyway, but they're all in about the same very good condition or worse. You just never see anybody put one of these in a flat file and it comes out all crispy white and everything. They just don't exist. So the 7 part can be, that's darn good for this nature of poster. That's really excellent. And of course, just by Heritage selling it, you know that it's authentic. But it's also with the CGC thing on there, the rest of your life, or in 50 years when a relative, an heir of yours picks it up and they see it on there, they know that it's real, so that really helps. And best of all, in the plastic case, all corner bumping and edge tearing and all wear and tear have been ceased forever. So we really like that aspect too. So, and remember, when a poster's been graded like this, it can still be framed. Absolutely and totally. In fact, last November's concert poster catalog, I ran pictures of CGC graded posters with the grading strip at the top, with a mat and frame where everything's hidden, so you don't know it's graded, and this part didn't get the grading strip at the top does not get distorted when you put a mat over it, and so sort of the best of both worlds if you like to frame your old rock and roll concert posters, and yet it's in the plastic holder being preserved basically forever. So as I started this video off, the talent on there is just crazy. The top 3 rows of performers, all bound for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. You got Fats, Domino, and LaVern, Baker, Frankie Lymon across the top, Frankie and the Teenagers, of course. And the second row, Chuck Berry, Clyde McPhatter, and then just the Crickets? Really? Are you seriously? Yeah, that's Buddy Holly before he wore horn-rimmed glasses. Oh my gosh, hello, look at that. That's amazing. But some people do forget that Coral Decca released some Buddy Holly records as just the Crickets. Some singles way back then, they came out as both, Buddy Holly and the Crickets, Buddy Holly, whatever. So on this poster, they're just the Crickets. And, any Buddy Holly concert poster from the 50s is just a highly prized and coveted possession. So that's the Grand Slam homer on the poster. But in that third row, you've got Eddie Cochran, excuse me, the Everly Brothers, and the Drifters on there. And the Everly Brothers is a special good presence because that blue stripe they're in, they weren't on this whole tour. And so there are many Well, of course, there aren't many of these posters, period, but we've seen several examples where instead of the Everly Brothers and Bye Bye Love, it just says All in Person. Well, you know, still not a bad poster for sure, but getting that 9th Rock and Roll Hall of Famer and somebody so influential as the Everly Brothers is really a cherry on the cake for this poster. And then down below those top 3 rows, you've got 4 or 5 other acts, no slouches at all. They all had big hits. Isn't that amazing? They all did, right down to the bottom. Even Paul Williams had the Hucklebuck as a huge hit. So it's like everyone's a winner. That's just amazing. It's just statistically, that's really against the odds, but it absolutely is true. So just a fantastic poster. As you can see, this sample's from Topeka, Kansas, from November of 1957. And once again, from the David Schwartz Concert Poster Collection, just a gem, absolutely marvelous. So David's collection goes off on Friday, April 12th, and that's what this poster will be in. And to see great pictures and read more about it, a lot of details, just go to ha.com/7363.